Absolutely. When you see people, you have to understand, and I'm gonna get into that story right now. Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this and let y'all watch this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and comment on this video so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about and where I'm going with this story. This is very important. Deaths of black twin brothers. This story has a lot of twists and turns. It's gonna make your blood boil. Put up the picture full mask. Hopefully you guys can see this. Georgia, Quadir and Nazir Lewis, 19 years of age, were found dead just hours after they were expected to fly to Boston to visit friends on Saturday, March 8th. Their plane tickets were reportedly still in their respective wallets, found at the scene of the crime. Hikers discovered their bodies at the top of Bell Mountain. This is near North Georgia. It is the Georgia-North Carolina border. Dozens of miles from where families say the brothers were living. Although police suspect the brothers died in a murder-suicide by gunshot wound, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has confirmed the arrest of former Towns County volunteer firefighter Scott Curlin, 42 years of age, in connection to the case. It gets even more interesting. According to the reports, the firefighter was fired on March 14th after he allegedly violated department protocol. Towns County Commissioner Cliff Bradshaw told 11 Alive. Curlin has not been charged directly in the deaths of the brothers, but he was hit with misdemeanor obstruction for allegedly snapping photos of the twins' dead bodies and then leaking those photos to the public, according to the GBI. The GBI's medical examiner has not shared the complete autopsy reports to the public yet, according to a spokesperson. Additional forensic tests are still pending. Family, however, continues to dispute the murder-suicide ruling, saying the twins would never hurt each other. Their aunt, Yasmin Bronner, said, quote, they wouldn't do anything like this. To say they did this to each other? No. Something happened in those mountains. We want answers. In the meantime, your family has set up a GoFundMe in support of organizing a memorial for both of them. Obviously, this is not something you planned for as a parent. Cordeer is here. You can go to that GoFundMe and assist. There are a lot of dynamics to this story. And we've been following the story in the state of Georgia. So one thing that stuck out to many is that they were in an area that normally they would not have been. And no one has been able to give an explanation as to why they were in those mountains. Why did they miss their flight? Absolutely no information. And then the ruling of this murder-suicide thing happened so quickly. Once again, there's no exhaustive investigation before the proclamation of murder-suicide. And third, how many times have we reported on indisputable a mother's intuition or family's intuition? But they knew something was off. And because of their willingness to continue to push the reality of how they knew the person, that actual justice was served and the person or people accountable were held to account. We've seen this many times on this show. There's no motive. There's no motive. There's no bad blood. These are twins. These twins, according to everybody in the family, these individuals wouldn't hurt other people, let alone each other in this matter. Nothing is adding up. Nothing makes sense. And then to add on top of the chaos and the confusion, you have a local authority obviously tied into not only the fire department, but also obviously the police department, the medical examiner's department. These individuals don't work as silos. They work together. He then takes a picture and releases it to the public. But you can't do that in the silo. You can't do that by yourself. That means you got some public folk that you can talk to, that you can release this picture to. So who are you talking to in the public to release the picture? And why are you doing it in the first place? Who told you to do this? Have you ever done this before? If you've never done it before, that means that you're probably under a directive for the first time to do something like this, because I'm sure it's not the first time that a dead body has been found in that area. But why this time did you decide to do these actions? There are more questions than answers. I'm with the family on this one. There needs to be an exhaustive investigation into every element of this case. And hopefully there will be a just outcome. We're going to stay on top of it until there is. Jackson, thoughts here?
Yeah, I think the suicide notion is...
We're going to get into it.
Incredibly unlikely.
So y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? We're going to go to... need you guys to follow me. We're going to go to Exodus 122. And we're going to break down some things. And that's a sad case. You know, yeah, it's unfortunate, you know, in that situation. But I'm going to read something in Exodus 122. Pharaoh ordered to his people, and Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born you should cast into the river, and every daughter you should save alive. See, what we're dealing with is the firstborn child, right? We understand that Satan is here to steal, kill, and destroy. This was in the biblical days. It still happens now. You have to understand the dynamics are totally different now. Now you're dealing with cults and covens who operate under Satan's kingdom. They here to target certain individuals. See, Satan watches us, and he's been watching us for a long time, ever since we was children. So he knows who carry the light of the Most High and who don't. So these cults, these covens and cults operate in darkness, secrecy. Rituals is being taken place. Just like Quab Give said, this is energy harvesting, right? So when we take in Exodus, Pharaoh was ordering people to kill or delete the firstborn child. It was for a reason. It's because he was afraid that they would inherit God's kingdom as far as his gifts, their purpose, their calling. So Pharaoh was threatened by that. And so when he ordered to unalive the firstborn child, the male child of the family, it's because of it was a reason of that. So Pharaoh wanted to take out as many male children, just like when Jesus was born and they had her flee, Mary, they had her flee to a different country to hide Jesus. Everybody was trying to hide their male children because the order was taking place. See, it still happened in today's time, right? Things don't change, right? The energy, the devil still remains the same. Only thing changes the people. So when you got people that's operating in these cults and coven, they're here to do a job. And a lot of these people, and a lot of it, you can look at it in 2 or 3 different ways, right? We know the devil remains the same. Family curses and generation. The family dynamics, right? The generation that was here before us in our family bloodline, before that generation and before that generation. Understand that your ancestors, a lot of them were serving different gods, different deities. A lot of them wasn't serving the Most High. So a lot of these people became cursed. When they're underneath a different umbrella, not the Most High umbrella, but the kingdom of darkness umbrella, some of these people make sacrifices. And these sacrifices sometimes don't play out until later years. Sometimes they will give up certain people, and it may not be the immediate family. It will come Maybe I want to sacrifice such and such in this generation. It may be the third or the fourth generation, but the devil is contracted through that bloodline. So the devil will stay in that bloodline and wait till that generation come and then go ahead and complete the rituals that was done by your ancestors. That's why it's very important that you break any curse, anything, basically give your life over to the Most High, because you don't know what your ancestors were involved in. So if they had some type of contract with the devil and it was supposed to play out in a certain time and you don't know about it, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what our ancestors was involved in? So you want to constantly counsel, rebuke, follow the Most High law, statutes, and commandments, and any curse that was spoken over your bloodline, your generation, you want to rebuke it, you want to counsel it, right? You don't want these things to play out because it can be you that can be up out of here. And a lot of us, you can look at it from that standpoint, right? A lot of this is just energy harvesting, right? You got these two kids that were supposed to take a flight to Boston, right? They never made it to Boston. They end up in the mountains, right? So if it has to play out from your ancestors to now, the devil is going to find a hitman, right? Whoever that hitman may be, that demonic spirit will dwell in that person. These people operate and summons demons and spirits. These spirits go back and tell who they want and who they don't at a certain time. It's like clockwork. These are rituals that's being taken place. So they would send a hitman spirit. That hitman spirit will go inside somebody in a cult, coven, Freemason organization, institution. It will go inside one of them and they will complete the actual hit, right? It can be children, it can be baby, it can be anybody, but they're going to complete that hit. And if those two boys, those twins, if it was time for them to leave based on what their ancestors were involved in, then that's going to play out. It's going to play out because if they don't know the Most High, if they didn't rebuke any curses that's been done over them, then it's going to play out. The Most High is just not going to stop it. Sometimes you have to speak and pray against the kingdom of darkness because you don't know what your generation curses may have been placed over your family's life, right? So it's different ways that we can look at this. The cults and covens could have been watching these two individuals for a while. You have to understand that these twins, to me, they look like they were innocent. They look like they were pure. It looked like they were good kids. And that's what Satan feeds off of. See, if these kids don't know the Most High, or if they don't have any protection over their life, then the devil is going to try to wipe them out. That's why it's very important that parents, you always want to have a relationship with the Most High so you can protect your children. Because things like this happen all the time. Satan comes like a roaring lion. He moves spirit. The demonic spirit jumps from body to body. He's looking to see who he can devour. And if you don't have divine protection over your life, Satan is going to get you up out of here. And not saying that these two twins was living in sin or anything. You don't have to be living in sin. You may not have any protection. If nobody's praying over you and you're just walking around here freely, yeah, the devil, the adversary is going to try to get you up out of here. This is energy harvesting, right? And so these cults and covens, they move up inside the organization. The demise of innocent people, pure people, it builds the kingdom of darkness. The energy shifts. They take the innocence and the pure of those two boys and it shifts into the kingdom of darkness. Therefore, they have energy that they can feed off of. We know that the devil is a murderer, right? And I'm going to read. We're going to go to the scripture. And this will be in let's go to John 8:44. Real simple, but I just want to show you what we're dealing with, right? This is the King James version. I just need you guys to follow me. We know what we're dealing with, right? This will be 8:44. John, the devil's children. Ye are your father, the devil, and the lust of your father he will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speak nothing but lies. He speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So the devil's children operate just like their father, right? Steal, kill, and destroy. Satan comes to murder. So you know the devil's work because that M word is always there. So these two boys, they was, you know what happened to them? Unalive. Energy is what the kingdom of darkness is all about. These covets and coats are just entities of the devil, tree. They're all around us. Different cities, different towns, different states, different counties. They're everywhere. They're looking, the demonic spirit roams the earth looking for anybody that they can devour, anybody that's in sin, anybody who has no protection over their life. The devil is going to try to wipe you out. It feeds the kingdom of darkness. And if you don't serve any God, the devil knows that. It can be a false God that you serve, the devil is going to come after you and try to take you out. Even if you have some type of pureness to you, he's going to try to wipe you out. If you're living in lukewarm, he's going to try to wipe you out. That's why it's very important that you have divine protection over your life and over your children's life, even your family. Any curses that may have been applied to your generations, your ancestors, you want to break that immediately because you don't know what they were involved in, right? We don't know what type of God that they were serving back then, right? We know idolatry back then was, I mean, they was chasing vanity. You know, a lot of our ancestors were involved in a lot of stuff that we don't know about. Yeah, we get on, try to search DNA and figure out what bloodline we come from. Yeah, that's important, but it's also important to break any curse that may have been applied over your family bloodline. Because if not, if they made some type of sacrifice, that can play out, adapt, generations after generation. It eventually plays out until you stop it. You have to stop it, right? So divine protection, right? Giving your life over to the Most High. Break any curses that may be applied to your bloodline. You want to have that relationship. You want to be connected to the Most High where you're able to put protection. Psalms 91, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. God's secret place. That's where we want to be because Satan can't take anybody out. He has to have permission, right? He's not going to just come and just do what he want to do. No, if I'm a child of God, then the Most High is going to protect me by any means. Angels is going to be dispatched. Once they're dispatched, they're going to protect your walk, right? So you have to, relationship is key, right? Understanding who the Father is. Because the devil is, right now, is he's amping up and he's coming after anybody he can because we're in the last days. So don't get caught in that situation. And have that those kids, because I think they was adopted. I think they were misled to the mountains. Um, I think they was gang stalked. I think demonic spirits has been watching those two boys. I think Satan has been watching those boys. Energy is what they want. In order for Satan and the cults and covens, these narcissists to exist, they need energy. That's the only way that they can stay alive, right? And so if they can do a ritual killing or a ritual unaliving, I, I can't use that K word, they might hit me for that, but unaliving, they will, it feeds the kingdom of darkness, right? Innocent souls is what Satan is all about. So yeah, my fault. I'm kind of not following. I'm not trying to figure out where y'all at. Like it froze up. Look like y'all froze up. Yeah, but you want to have that divine protection over your life and over your family life, so the Most High can, so He can step in and protect you. Finding out, step in and protect you. Yeah, see, I'm froze over here. I don't know why it's freezing. Hold on, let me figure out why it's freezing up, y'all. Yeah, for some reason it's freezing up. We're gonna keep it going though. But yeah, and it's more than protection. Also, you want to have that relationship with the Most High, because anything from this point that you have broken, as far as past curses that may be in your bloodline, you can also protect your future bloodline also, right? So Satan can't be attached to your bloodline to cause hindrance and poverty and all these type of demonic ties that he has with family. You can rebuke and cancel a lot of that stuff, right? But it starts with you, right? God will pick and choose somebody of the family to break these curses, but you have to understand what you're dealing with. So the twins in that situation, it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have went down that way. Um, and Satan also gives us, and I don't think that guy that was showing I think he got arrested, and I think he was charged of showing pictures online about, I guess they was unalive, and he was online showing pictures and sharing them. You have to understand that these are rituals that's taking place, right? When you see certain situations go down, because it doesn't make sense for them to end up in the Jordan Mountains when they were supposed to be in Boston. Somewhere between that time, they got abducted. Somewhere, right? In that town, these people all work together, right? You're dealing with people in these sundown towns, right? The judges, they know the mayor, they know the government, they know the the lawyers, they know the cops, they know the sheriffs. They're all clicked in together, right? These are all coats and covens that work together. It's not about race, because the spirit, the demonic spirit, can jump in anybody. It can jump into anybody, and it causes confusion to the naked eye. So we can look at it and point the finger and be like, "Hey, that race is the reason why." It could have been a race thing. That's what we're looking at it from the 3D aspect. But we know that Satan is the author of confusion. That demonic spirit can move around from body to body. And while we're looking at it from our physical eye, we assuming like, hey, this is racism going on, right? This is going back to the Jim Crow era. We're looking at it from that aspect. Satan can create that type of illusion so we can have disdain for other cultures and other races. He's playing with us. He playing with us emotionally, right? We go up and down. Now we have hate in our heart for certain cultures and for certain people, when it's Satan behind the scenes that's running things, right? And this is what we have to understand. Satan is always running things behind the scene. This is spiritual work that's being done. If he can move around from different cultures and move around from body to body and keep us, the masses, in our emotions, then he has us. Because when we're in our emotions, we at our weakness. Then we become fearful, right? He's controlling how we feel. Once Satan has control of how we feel, then we underneath him, right? So now if he has full control of you, then he's gonna have control of how you get up out of here. Because now you're not serving the Most High, because the Most High don't give us a spirit of fear, right? So Satan is the author of confusion. He creates these dynamics. So it's a lot of ways that we can look at this and take from these stories. And I'm going to start covering a lot more stories of this type of magnitude, right? Because it happens all the time. And we're looking at it from a 3D perspective when we know Satan is behind everything. Satan is releasing demonic spirits to go inside low vibration people, to control them, to cause chaos, to unalive certain people that he wants. Satan has a list of people who he wants. All he needs is a body and a willing vessel. And the majority of these people are cults, they're covens, they're organizations, institutions, people that you know, right? People that's in your family that's a part of these groups. Yeah, it's that deep. Your friends, your day ones, your co-workers, they operate under secrecies, under demonic energy, right? Their father is the devil. So yeah, he's going to use your family member that's part of the Freemason to do rituals and do binding work to slow unalive you. This is how these things work. So when you look at those twins, I'm not saying that his family was involved in it. We don't know. But it could have been their generation. It could have been curses in their family that they don't even know about, that they probably sacrificed a certain generation, and it finally, anything that happened in the spirit will eventually manifest in the physical. So those boys probably already had a death date that they didn't even know about, that their immediate family didn't know about, because we don't know what our ancestors were involved in, right? That's why it's very important that you break any curse, any spells, anything that has something to do with the kingdom of darkness. You want to break it, you want to rebuke it, and you want to cancel it immediately, right? You want to get that out your family bloodline quick as possible, right? So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. I'm gonna start covering a lot of a lot of stories like this because Satan, or he's involved in a lot of this stuff, right? He's involved in everything. When it comes to murdering, unaliving, he's involved, right? We can go to, when Mosiah says in Jeremiah, the I'm here to give you peace, not of evil, and expected end, right? So, I mean, the Most High is not evil. That's not the Most High at work, right? He's here to give you an expected end. So we have to understand that the devil he's roaming the earth, right? From here to there, looking for any souls to get up out of here, to feed his kingdom. And the Most High even says it in John. He's a murderer, right? There's no truth in him. When he speak lies, he speak of his own self. So, what else I want to get into? And it's the thing is when you live in of the world, then that gives Satan the opportunity to become your God, right? If you don't serve the Most High, then whatever entity, whatever religion that you may be under, Satan has control of that. I want you to understand, if we don't serve the Most High, there's no protection. You can say, hey, I'm part of this religion, I'm a part of that religion. If the Most High is not involved in that religion, then the devil has control. He's going to determine when you're ready to leave, right? That's why we have to understand that the only way through heaven is through Jesus Christ. We have to come out the world into the spirit. We have to follow God's laws, statutes, and commandments, right? We have to operate in love. If we don't, then the devil is going to destroy us. We know love is the highest vibration. If we're not operating in that, then the devil has control, right? So the devil is looking for innocent souls. And these two boys, to me, they look innocent. I mean, I don't think they were in a gang. I don't think they were involved in any demonic activities. I think they were just kids. To me, they look like they were just regular kids, regular teenagers, right? Satan don't care. Satan is looking at the energy that they are in, that they're embodying, and he will snatch their souls from them. He will snatch them if they're not serving a higher power, if they don't know the Most High. And sometimes it's not directly their fault. It can be the family has to protect. You have to protect your children, right? You have to pray over your children. Divine protection. If the Most High protects you, then most likely he will protect your children, right? You want to make a covenant with the Most High, because without that, it's free unaliving from the adversary. His demons, his cults, his covens, these masons, they're going to come after you, right? And don't get it twisted. They come after God's children all the time, right? They do tactics, they do different things, but they know that the Most High is fully in control, of our lives. If we serve the Most High, then the Most High is going to protect you, right? He's going to put a seal of protection over you. The devil's going to try to send his covens and coats after you. They're going to stalk you. They're going to use your family members to come after you, your friends, your day ones, your exes. They're going to have all these people come after you to wear you down, right? They need you trapped in a certain energy. If they can't get to you, they feel like, hey, if we keep bothering this individual, if we keep running the spirit campaign on this individual, if we keep slandering this individual, then eventually this person will get at a stage, an energy, a vibration that they can't succumb to, then they will eventually take themselves out. We'll send the last spirit of suicide and get them up out of here, right? And you hear it all the time, right? People take themselves out because they're not being spiritually fed. They don't know how to heal, right? But God's children, we operate in His strength, right, to overcome these forces that's coming towards you. You have to understand that we are in spiritual warfare every day. Every time you wake up in the morning, through the night, you're being attacked, whether you know it or not. If you don't remember your dreams, when you wake up the next day and you know that you had a dream, you are being spiritually attacked. Your dreams are being swiping from you before you can even wake. Before you can even wake up in the morning to realize what you have dreamed of, they're already wiped out your psyche. You're under spiritual warfare. You have to pray against it, right? Because if the Most High is trying to communicate to you about something that He needs you to do, and you can't remember, then your job is not being fulfilled by the Most High. You're not being fulfilled. You're not serving the Most High to your full potential. You may need to fast, dry fast, water fast. You may have to abandon social media for a while. You may have to isolate yourself just so you can hear the Most High clearly and what He needs you to do. So it's very important, right? It's very important. But we under attack all the time. These witches and warlocks, like I said, they don't sleep until they see somebody fall. And in that situations with the twins, I really think that person who revealed those photos, I really think that he was involved. That's me personally. Um, I think it was a ritual, unaliving. I think the covens and cults were involved in it, and they're involved in a lot of these activities that go on. And unfortunately, a lot of people, when it comes to the judges, the mayors, the lawyers, the DEA, the sheriff, the police, the cops, they're all involved also, right? This is cult-like covens, right? This is sophisticated. This is the kingdom of darkness, right? They operate in that type of demonic energy, and they work underneath their father. And if their father tell them, "Hey, we want such and such," they're going to test it, right? They're going to send that spirit out. That spirit is going to let the devil know, "Hey, it's a green light," or "It's a red light." They're going to keep sending spirits to see if it's an avenue, see if they can get in. Is this person, is he involved in drinking drugs? Does he have a spirit of lust? The devil is trying to get into your life. And if he can't, you know what he's going to do. He's going to send a narcissist, covert narcissist. He'll send a family member in, right? To come in, will you to sleep, to get inside your energy. The covert narcissist is going to eventually slow kill you. He's going to siphon energy, take it back to the kingdom of darkness, and they're going to build from that aspect. So every day, your life is declining, right? You're getting farther and farther from the Most High. It's hard for you to fight because now you're in a stage of confusion. You're in a stage of fogginess. You don't realize what's going on because the narcissist has already put a spell over your life. Now he has or she has you in a never-ending cycle. Now you're off track, right? Now you can't hear the Most High anymore. You thinking the Most High gave up to you. The Most High is always speaking to us 24/7. If you hear clearly and listen, he's always talking. He's always speaking. But once you open a door and you let that narc come in, that narc is so demonic. The narc has so many entities attached to him. They're going to blind you and they're going to cut off your hearing. Now you're spiritually dead, right? Now you can't hear anything. The narc is going to will you to sleep. And how does the narc benefit from it? His father, the devil, is going to make sure that he has a car. He's going to make sure he has a house. He's going to make sure that their kids is okay. The devil's going to take care of them. If he can slow unalive God's children, the devil's going to take care of the narcissist and the family. They living good off of your energy. They're manifesting off your energy. That's why it's very important that you stay sober and you stay vigilant, realizing the people that you're dealing with, right? Because a corrupt tree can't bear good fruit. And we know the narcissist is just like their father. They're here to steal, kill, and destroy, right? Nothing else, right? So, blessed butterfly life insurance policy. Yeah, they putting all type of paperwork on you, right? And I said that in one of my videos. Yeah, they got on the dark web. They got so much stuff going on down there on the dark web where they got paperwork on certain people, certain dates, certain rituals. And if you don't have God's protection over your life, it's going to play out, right? And if you can't remember your dreams, it's going to play out. That's why when you wake up in the morning, you want to rebuke, you want to cancel dreams that don't come from the Most High, right? And I tell the Most High all the time, whatever I have dreamed of last night, if these dreams don't come from you, I'll rebuke it, I'll cancel it, I'll reject it in the name of Jesus. You cancel out all of that, and that's what you need to do, right? Nika Adrian, Dr. Hawkins, yeah, most definitely, yep. The Book of Conscience, yep. And Dr. Hawkins, he has the numbering system where the energy that people operating in, he does it by numbers. And one person can balance, I think he said like a quarter of the world as far as energy wise, but it's only so many people that can actually slip through, right? I actually did a video on it. It's only so many people that can actually get through and balance everything out. But you got a lot of people that's stuck in the same energy, and that's a majority of the world. He said, Dr. Hawkins says 70% of the world operate in low energy, demonic energy. That means 70% is worldly. Imagine that. Satan has 70% of people underneath his umbrella, knowingly and unknowingly. He has control, right? And that's a dangerous place to be. As Butterfly said, I think it's like 90%. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, because you look at the new generation, they don't follow by no guidelines, right? If their parents ain't following by no guidelines, and what I mean by that is if they don't serve a higher power, then their kids is not going to serve a higher power, right? They're going to just live on how they want to live. But when you live of the world, then the devil becomes your father, whether you know it or not. He may not take you out, and the Most High give us grace and mercy, of course. But in some situation, depending on what your ancestors was doing, it can play out quick, right? A lot of this is rituals that's being done. You have to understand our ancestors, a lot of them was cursed. They wasn't serving the higher power, right? They was chasing vanity. They was hanging out with the enemy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are spiritual contracts that play out. They eventually play out. And unfortunately, they play out in real time now, right? So when you look at those twins that they found in the mountains, that's ritual work that's being done. That's ritual unaliving that was done, right? And that's unfortunate. And I'm gonna start covering a lot of more videos because you can see what's going on. Just like the Angie Stone situation, how she was unalive. So rituals, right? Unfortunately, her situation is that when you into the music industry or any type of industry in Hollywood, the devil becomes your father, whether you know it or not. You sign that contract, you sign in a spiritual contract, right? So as soon as you, well, I want to do some exposing, I want to buck, I'm gonna tell this, I'm gonna tell that, then Satan's gonna come get you, right? He's gonna come get you. And that's unfortunate. You don't, just because you got talent, like you have to understand, like our talent, our gifts come from the Most High. Now he give us free choice on what we want to do with our gifts. You know, we can go out to the world and sign contracts, or we can work underneath him with our gifts, depending on what you're chasing. If you're chasing a check, then most likely you're going to sign a contract with the label. But it's a blind contract, right? It's not worth it. You can go through the same process with the Most High. You may not see money come like that, but the Most High says, if you attach yourself to me, then anything that you ever want will come to you. Spiritual food, your vibration, you will start attracting instead of chasing. When you chase, that becomes your God. When you attract, the Most High is your God. If that makes sense, right? We want to attract. Wherever we go, we want to attract. We attach ourselves to the Most High. He's going to bring us wealth. He's going to bring us riches. And he's going to do it in a sophisticated way where we are able to feed other people, whether it be spiritually, whether it be open up a business, whether it's able to speak, teach different ways, but you're going to be working in the kingdom, right? The body of Christ. But when you're dealing with Satan and you sign those record label contracts, hey, you can't, well, I want to give back to this community. No, you're not giving back nothing. Satan didn't put you here to give back. You're going to be slaving underneath him. And if you do give back to an organization or wherever, I want to put money into this place, I want to give back. Most of them are under Satan's umbrella. So from the naked eye, from the 3D, yeah, it looks good. That person gave back to the community. Yeah, but that community is underneath Satan's umbrella. So it's filtering back into him, to the kingdom of darkness, right? So we have to understand what we're dealing with. This is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. It's the righteous versus the wicked. That's all it is. It's that simple, but you have to look at it from that aspect. It's not all about race, culture, gender, sex, and all these type of things. It's spiritual, right? And we have to look at these things just like that. Those children, those twins, it's a spiritual work that's being done, right? And these covens and coats, you know, they're working, right? We in the last days, they're working. They're trying to protect their spot, and they have to do things that's underneath Satan's kingdom. Whether they want to do it or not, they have to do it, right? And so they're looking for innocent souls, right? It's Satan benefit more off of innocent souls versus demonic souls, right? If he has people out here that's living a worldly life, yeah, he knows that he has them, right? Like Satan knows, like, okay, I'm not worried about them. They're gonna keep doing what they doing. I want something pure. I want something innocent because they hold the energy of love. Just like that guy was saying that their family said that two boys were loving children. You know, they wouldn't hurt each other. They wouldn't do this. They wouldn't. That's what Satan looks for. because of the energy, the love. Satan feeds off of that, right? And he knows that if they do have a purpose or a calling over their life, he's going to try to unalive them before they can walk into that. Just like in Exodus, when I was reading the firstborn child, Satan is always in pursuit of God's children, male children. He don't want them inheriting nothing, right? He's going to try to wipe them out, just like Pharaoh did when he was telling the midwives, hey, any sons you have, we got to get them up out of here, because I'm not going to have these male sons inherit God's kingdom and God pull a seal of protection over their life. And now I have to face and battle these kids when they grow up and walk into their calling so they can replace what I have going on. Nah, Pharaoh he's gonna send that order. He's gonna send that hit, right? The devil is behind it. The devil was utilizing Satan. That's why he had God's children in captivity, because Satan was threatened. It's still the same, right? That's why they go after certain people who carry energy. You have to understand that you're valuable, you're important. If you can walk out the world into the spirit, because that's where your inheritance at. It's not of the world. The Most High is not going to bless you of the world, because that's where Satan roams at, right? That's where your enemies are at. That's where your enemies are at, right? The covens, the coats, your narcissist family members, your demonic friends, the hating people of your life. That's where they roam at. That's why you got to realize that when you hear about people that hit the lottery, right? You hear about a guy that wins $80 million, $5 million, $10 million, 500,000, anything. If they win a certain amount of money, they're surrounded by wolves, right? So the lottery is demonic, because if it doesn't come from the Most High, it doesn't have protection. So you take a person who won 10 million and his friends, his family members know, his exes know about it, his co-workers know about it, they're going to come after him. That demonic spirit, Satan, hitman spirit, is going to force them to act on you. You can't enjoy yourself. You're paranoid. You're schizophrenic. You walking around, okay, I got 10 million in the bank, but I won this in a lottery. Satan's lottery is where I won this at. Satan gave me $10 million. So what's Satan going to do? He's going to send his demons after you. That's why these people don't last long. And plus, a lot of these people have addictions, right? So if you got a drinking addiction, you have lust addiction, you're feeding that demon that you have now. I got $10 million and I got a drinking addiction. I'm an alcoholic. Well, I'm gonna amp it up. I'm getting drunk every night now, 3 times a day. 2 or 3 years, you up out of here, right? Because you haven't went through the proper process of healing your addictions that you have. That's why it's and you hear about it all the time. You never hear about people that won, millions, live a long life. No, do the research. I dare you to Google it. Anybody who won the lottery and see where they at now. A lot of them ain't even here. They lifespan shortened quickly, right? For one, the lottery is demonic. It's ran by Satan. Satan rewards you a substantial amount of money. You win the money. The demons come after you, right? The people in your environment come after you. Everybody want a taste of that. They're chasing vanity. You fresh food. You have no protection. You don't know the Most High, right? Well, I'm in this certain group or religion. The Most High is not involved. It's no protection. So the devil's going to send his demons, right? And if he don't send his demons, he's going to send another addiction, whatever your addiction may be. He's going to send 7 more addictions. You know what I'm saying? So now you're trying to balance all this. Now you got the money to feed those demons. Eventually, you're gonna crash out, right? So I dare you when you get off this live to Google millionaires, right, and see where they're at now. A lot of them ain't even here no more. It's crazy. That's why I said, I mean, and I get it. We see, Powerball or you know this amount, and you want to play the ticket. If you don't serve a high power and you win that money, Satan is going to unalive you, right? Somebody's going to hunt you down. You could say, I'm gonna go overseas and hide out on the beach somewhere. Okay, you're gonna be miserable. The most money is temporary to the flesh, right? You buy everything you need, and then you still unalive yourself. Satan just said, okay, Satan just send a spirit of hitman, right? Or not the hitman, but a spirit of suicide. Spirit of suicide come, you're empty. I got all this money by myself. I can't trust anybody. I'm too paranoid. Right? You don't want to make no new friends. You know what I'm saying? You eventually take yourself out because you're unhappy, right? Happiness comes from the Most High. And I don't care how much money you got, you will never be happy. You will never enjoy life. Everything is temporary underneath the sun. Remember that. Real happiness comes from the Most High. You may have to, and I don't even think the Most High will accept that. If you won 10 million from the lottery, and then I want to give my life over to the Most High. Well, you know what happened in the book of Matthew, right? Hey, the Most High may say, hey, you won that 10 million. I want you to get rid of that 10 million, carry your cross and walk into the Spirit and follow me. What if the Most High asks you to do that? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to give up that amount of money to walk in the Spirit? Right? You can't take none of it with you. Yeah, you a millionaire, but you can't take it to heaven. What are you going to do? What decision are you going to make? See, the guy in the Bible, when Jesus asked him that, what'd he do? He said, nah, he didn't want to give up that. He said, nah, I'm going to just go back out to the world. Obviously, he was empty. Obviously, he was not happy because the conversation he had with Jesus was like, hey, what do I have to do to inherit the kingdom? Right? So it's like he was looking for something to fulfill him spiritually because the wealth that he had wasn't doing it. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Vanity, things of the world is not going to do it. You hear it all the time that the people in Hollywood commit suicide. And a lot of these people are wealthy. They're not being fulfilled spiritually. A lot of them are being attacked by demons, right? They don't live a life of peace. There's no peace of the world. Peace only comes from the Spirit. So are you willing to give up that money that you won from the lottery for the Most High? For happiness, true happiness, fruit of the Spirit, love, peace, joy, happiness. Are you willing to give up money for that? See, a lot of us won't give up that. Right? We still lost in a sense. The most miserable people of the world is wealthy, rich people. Right? It's funny we're having this conversation because the city that I live in was a lawyer. This is like 2 days ago. One was a lawyer. I don't know what his brother was, but to make a long story short, his brother unalived his other brother. His other brother was a lawyer, and he was, he was rich, right? It's You become a target, right? Like jealousy, envy takes a toll on it. There's no protection there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The only protection is going to come from the Most High. So whatever you gain of the world, it's no protection. The devil is going to come and wipe you out, right? The devil is going to use people close to you to wipe you out. Usually the demise of you becomes the people around you that takes you out, right? And that's unfortunate because your job is to fulfill them spiritually with the word. But a lot of them ain't trying to hear that. They chasing the bag. They chasing the money. They're chasing an illusion. And when they capture the bag, it's gone just like that. Because the other demons are looking at them as fresh meat, fresh food. They're going to start setting that person up. They're going to start backdooring that person. Something's going to go down where some tragic is going to happen to you. And then we say that that's a good person. The good die young. The good die young because they don't know who the Heavenly Father is and they don't have any protection over their life. The devil looks at that as weakness. The demons look at that as weakness, right? Yeah, I mean, but I'm gonna start covering more videos like this as far as the spiritual side, because everything is spiritual, right? Life is spiritual. We are ran by spirits, the righteous spirit or demonic spirit, right? But we are spiritual beings, right? And you hear it all the time circulating in the news. Well, this happened to this person. I mean, it's a lot of wickedness going on. And we know that Satan is behind it. When the news come out, and the news is, they want to tell us about everything. And sometimes I don't even like watching the news. I remember one time I was sitting up, this had to be like a few years ago. And once you tap on something like as far as news and it's tragic, then everything else they started um, your phone. That's you see it now. They start going through the YouTube. Now you see nothing but news channels of unalive and robbery. You see a lot of demonic activity going on, and it just nonstop because you clicked on one video. And I remember one time I was sitting up. This may have been like a few years ago, and I was watching some unalive that took place in one city. And then after that, you start going through more. You're like, dang. And you keep going. And I remember the Most High said, he was like, stop watching that. I heard him clearly say, like, stop watching it. There was something he was saying, but I think he said, stop watching it. Like telling me, hey, cut it off, right? Because we begin to watch it so much, it takes over us, right? It puts us in a different energy. It puts us in a different vibration. I don't know if he was worried about fear coming in, because most people look at that as fear. Fear starts seeping in, right? And we know that the Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear. So it's crazy. Yeah, Lord. For the Lord, there's no truth, no mercy, knowledge of God. Absolutely, Guap gives. Absolutely. You say AI. Cherokee Tree said it's AI. Thinking that's just the words. Yep. Yeah. Definitely. A lot of it is AI. Yep. Absolutely. I never looked at it like that. It is AI, and we know who AI is working with, right? We understand. We understand that AI is just a tool for them to use to keep us in a low vibration, right? AI is an ancient thing. Absolutely. Prayer warrior, yeah. It's like open the door. Yep, absolutely. Trucking moves, what's going on? Programs, our subconscious, and disrupt our psyche. Absolutely. Yep. If they can control our minds, then they can have fully control of our lives. Absolutely. Rusty Shackelford, what's going on? Word to Hannah. Say 46. People are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, we have to, when we look at things that happen, when it's dealing with unaliving tragic events, we have to understand the spiritual side of it. Never look at it from our 3D eye, right? Because then we'll start looking into things that's more worldly than anything, right? Murderings and unaliving tragic events, we have to understand what was the spirit going on behind that situation. Just like the twins, at first they were saying that it was murder suicide, and we know Satan is working, right? They can say it's murder suicide. We know Satan is working. The Most High said it in John. Satan is a murderer. How did they end up from being at the airport to the mountains, right? We have to understand that Satan is in the midst of these things. These things is working behind the scenes. People are being targeted for certain reasons, whether it's curses, whether it's coats and covens trying to get a position inside the organization, whatever the case may be. If they got paperwork on you, if they've been watching you, they're going to tap in spiritually and see if they can touch you, right? Because these things is always, it's not orchestrated from our physical eye. It's not like, hey, I see this person over here. I want to cause harm to this person. It doesn't work like that. This stuff is orchestrated from the higher ups. It's like almost like an anarchy, right? It's the devil is in control. In order for you to have that spirit to unalive somebody, you have to carry his spirit. You have to come in contact. You have to come into agreement. You have to have been sold your soul to Satan in order for you to complete that type of act, right? So we know these covenants and coats. We know that they sold their soul to the devil. We know that these people are under contract, and we know that their vessels are willing vessels, right? They're willing to do the work. They're willing to commit evil, right? And so those are the most dangerous people, um, that's willing to do anything for vanity and move up inside the kingdom of darkness, um, for whatever the case may be, right? A lot of them do it for positions, houses, cars, money, gift cards, give them a Walmart discount. I do it for anything. You know what I'm saying? They're in survival mode, right? So those are dangerous people. That's why it's very important that you serve a higher power that's going to have protection over your life. A divine protection is what I'm talking about, right? Because they can send demons, and the demons will see, hey, I can't get in. I can't get in. The seal of protection is too strong. They'll keep sending demons, and then the demons will go back to the devil. I can't. Then we know what happens next, right? Who is this person associated with, right? Who is this person dating? Who is this person married to? Who is this person in relationship with? Who are their family members? Who are their day ones? Who are their friends? Where they're from? They're going to utilize somebody. They're looking. That spirit is looking. Who can I jump in to wear this person down? And they'll find one of your family members, a sellout, that's willing to do anything for money. I do it. You give them a target card. I do it. And that demonic spirit will jump right into that narc. That narc go around town slandering you, smear campaign, projecting, all for a gift card, an apartment and a car with some rims on it. I do it. You open that door, right? Narc will start stealing your clothes, taking it back to the lodge. Now you got nightmares. Now you got spirits harassing, tormenting. This is what we're dealing with, right? And then you speak out about it. You speak up about it. Oh, this person crazy. This person this person that, right? And you say that so many times, it get to the wrong people. Hey, you're going to be in a straitjacket somewhere, right? And from that point on, they got paperwork on you. So that narc is constantly energy harvesting off of you. Now this person went from this neighborhood to a suburban neighborhood. Now he in a gated community. Yeah, that's how it works. Right. We got to pay attention to what's going on, right? Master Weapon, bro, you came in playing or it changed. I don't know what you're talking about. Master Weapon. Crystal, right? Jesus sends the Holy Spirit. Yep, absolutely. Dash Render Gaming. What about signing the NBA contracts with God protection and the blood of Hamashiach? Well, you have to understand that. I mean, when you look at sports like the NBA and the NFL, it's worldly. You're playing a game. It's not serving the body of Christ. How is it helping anybody? Right? You're not. What are you serving? I mean, a lot of NBA players is. I mean, you have to understand that 70% of the world is spiritually dead. You know, just because they sign a contract with the NBA, you have to look at who they're attached to. Who is the NBA as a corporation or business, whoever they're attached to. Right? Is worldly. Anything of the world is signed to Satan. So if we look at sports, NFL, NBA, NHL, all these are entities of the world. Satan is running the world. How is that serving the body of Christ? Right? It's not. It's not serving anything. It's people can't grow spiritual. It's no spiritual food there. Right? The Most High says you can't serve two gods because you will love one and hate the other. Crystal 444, chosen on a new moon. That just passed. My ex-friend did a ritual to transfer energy on me. How do I get rid of that? I would say you have to fast. I would water fast and then dry fast. Pray. Um, go to Psalms, Book of David. Pray, counsel, rebuke. Um, yeah, fasting, like dry fast, like 4 to 5 days. Um, yeah, because that happened to me all the time. I got a narcissist family member. When every time the new moon comes, the full moon, he's constantly doing rituals. These people, you have to understand, these people is taken over, right? They're taken over by demonic spirit. They don't inhabit that vessel anymore. They didn't gave their vessel up. So every new moon, full moon, they're constantly doing rituals. That's all they do. They work for the devil, right? So I know exactly what you're talking about. You just have to fast 4 days and 4 days after. You have to always, watch what you eat, your intake, what you listen to, what you watch. You have to protect yourself. In the New Year's, January 1st, that time that destiny rituals can be done. Yeah, they doing rituals all day, every day, pretty much. Any way that they can get in. And a lot of it is binding work, right? We bind our energy to certain individuals to energy harvest, right? Everything is about harvesting energy. We draw fast 4 days before the full moon and 4 days after. And it's hard, but you have to work your way to it. Like first I would do like a water fast, right? Do the water fast first, and then work your way to a dry fast. Dry fast will break any stronghold. But yeah, I'm gonna start covering more videos like this, especially like um, tragic videos, unaliving and stuff like this, because it's always a spirit behind these things that take place. A lot of it, majority of it, 99.9% is Satan's work, right? We want to understand these rituals that's being taking place. We want to understand how Satan is orchestrating these rituals and why they're being done to certain people. Dash rendering game. I always thought like giving MJ status and persuading people to believe in Jesus, like being a light for lost people, staying away from the Diddy parties and stuff of that nature. Yeah. I mean, we're here to, pour into people spiritually, right? God has people down here on earth um, to that he used to guide them to him, to the word, right? Like the kingdom God's kingdom is always hiring. Like if you ever need a job, go to the Most High, right? Ask him, or tell him that you want to serve him, that you willing to, if you have any addictions, anything, you're willing up to give up certain things of your life, whatever the case may be, whatever the Most High asks you to give up, give that up and serve him. The Most High is always hiring, and he's always providing, So, and that's probably like one of the, and that's guaranteed protection. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the body of Christ and you're working for the Most High, yeah, he's going to keep that seal of protection, over your life, because now you become, your spiritual ranking increases. It's like you're a celebrity in the spiritual realm, right? Angels know who you are, right? But then that also attract darkness. The demons know who you are, right? But they can't do anything. They just gotta watch you, right? Cherokee, yeah, loves Joshua, loves the brokenhearted. He does here. All right, willing prize. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because anybody who has a broken heart, you go to the Most High, he can fix your heart, right? Now you're able to start over and you become a new person in Christ. Now he's going to build you up. Anything that you gained of the world can stay in the world. You come to the Most High broken, then he able to feed you spiritually. Now you're able to work underneath him, right? So now you have a testimony, right? You can say, hey, this is what I went through. The Most High fixed me. He fixed my heart. And I'm able to come out to the spirit, and now I can, push the word, right? Absolutely. Repentance, forgiveness, rebuke, coupled with fasting. Yep. But yeah, this is I've been on an hour and a half. Yeah, this is the video that I wanted to come through. I wanted to talk about divine protection, um, and then those twins. Unfortunate what happened to those two kids. And you hear about it all the time. Um, we understand that Satan is behind a lot of this stuff that goes on, right? Um, a lot of it is to put fear in us, but we know that the Most High, He don't give us a spirit of fear, right? Um, so we know Satan is down here working, right? We know that he's working in overtime. So we have to understand that what's going on. We have to be vigilant. We have to be sober. We have to be aware, right? But yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get off of here. But I thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. God bless you, and I love you.